Yo, what is up? We're coming at you live with the most improv math club ever. I always film these.
Thank you, Mr. Kelly, for all that you do for our campus.
It's the truth. I know you don't believe I do. This is going right here. Should I film myself or the audience? Because the audience is kind of just going to stare.
Here, I can hold it.
Yeah, I got it. We will.
Claim your pride.
Everybody wave.
Friday, unicorns. Remember, it's always a great day to have a great day.
You can't hide from the camera, Naomi. You're in all of them.
And one more announcement for seniors. Continental
Alright,
is,
so,
outside
what do you guys
the
want to do today? We can do quantum immortality. I'm not writing the full thing unless you choose it. Or we can do calculus without numbers. It's up to you.
You should be in your location for advisory.
Let's do the calc.
Quantum calc.
Remember, every day is a great day to be a unicorn.
Please don't make this a tie, Naomi. Don't do that.
Oh, we do that.
And now you just gave me all the power. Good job, Naomi. We're doing calc.
I want to do that anyway.
Or actually, no, you know what? Let's do quantum.
Yeah.
You can't change your mind after you've made
Sure you
it.
can.
Yes, I can. I'm a dictator. You thought that this was a
You thought this was a
democracy?
democracy? No, this is a dictatorship.
No. Who here is familiar with Schrodinger's cat?
I'm vaguely familiar with the
Vaguely
term.
familiar.
It's
You know what
It's
that
like
is?
it's a cat that's
I
there but
zoned
not
out.
really
I
there
zoned
at the same time.
Schrodinger's cat.
Okay, so you got a box.
Right.
Anybody here squeamish about animal abuse?
No.
Cool. Inside the box is a cat, okay?
Wait, you gotta put a bottom.
Yeah, there's no bottom on the box.
It's gonna fall through
Oh yeah, you're right.
to the abyss.
There you go. Okay, so there's a cat inside of this box.
Yeah.
I am scarily good at drawing animals. Not gonna show that talent here. Alright,
This
so
just reminds me of psychology with the cat, the rats in the box and they try to get out, and the cats in the box and they try to get out.
oh yeah, that's
Wait.
it's the escape thing. It was from learning, right? It was the learning section.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean,
so
I'm in psychology.
in this one, there is a bomb in the box. Okay.
There's a bomb.
Now, there's something about the electron spin. I'm not gonna bore you.
Oh, the electron thing
Yeah.
where like if you acknowledge it, then it
Yeah.
changes. Okay.
It's basically electron spin if it's positive or negative. You don't care about any of that. Long story short, 50% chance the cat lives, 50% chance the cat dies. Now this box, it's made out of titanium, okay? Let's just say it's made out of titanium. It's soundproof. You have no idea what's going on inside the box, right? You don't know if the cat lived, you don't know if the cat died, right?
Yeah.
So, the general theory of quantum physics is until you open that box, the cat is both alive and dead.
At
Does
the
that make
same
sense?
time, because you're not acknowledging. I mean,
Because you can't observe it.
can't observe
Right.
So mathematically, since it can't be observed, it has to be both at the same
But
time.
it can be acknowledged.
It's like
Can be
sort of
acknowledged.
like the idea of like if a tree falls in a forest and no one's around to see it,
Yeah.
did it really fall?
It's like
Did it really fall? Do you think it fell?
I don't know. It's all up to if you're even there to observe it.
You look so lost. Like the blank
No.
stare.
No,
But
I'm
you
just
get it, right?
starting out.
Quantum-
But if
quantum's
it's,
so
if
fun.
it's a clear box, then how do you know?
It's not clear.
It's not a clear box. It's a.
I'm just
block.
saying, if it's a clear box, then.
Well,
If
then
it's
you
a
know
clear
it's
box, then it's immediately chosen. So basically, the idea is that it's oscillating back and forth between alive and dead. When you open the box, it chooses one, and then that's the thing that you observe.
Shaboom.
So the
Yeah,
saying isn't the saying isn't that does the tree really fall, isn't it? If it makes a sound,
Yeah, it's if it makes a sound.
something wrong with that.
you
so if
can
you
tell
hear
if
it-
it fell or not when you get there.
Yeah, but the tree falls in the forest. It's not does it makes a sound. For what's it called? Quantum physics, it would be does it fall? Because if it has a 50% chance of falling, then it's both oscillating between being on the ground and still being
Until it's observed.
until it's observed, then it chooses one. Think of it as like you're flipping a coin, and while it's in the air, it's both heads and tails until it lands on your hand.
I mean, technically, it was observed immediately by the surrounding creatures.
Well, yeah.
Once it lands in your hand, but when it's in the air, do you know if it's heads or tails?
I was talking about the tree.
Oh, the tree? That's true. It does get observed by living creatures, but until we figure out a way of communicating and getting
Yeah, it can't be
information out of it,
mathematically observed.
we can't really consider that, you know?
Hmm.
I've tried to talk to deer before.
Darn. It's rough, right?
Yeah, they're not great conversation
They just kind of
starters.
like.
No, dogs are. Dogs are great conversation
They
starters.
do a
What dogs do you have that I don't know about that talk
Have
to
you
you?
never seen videos of dogs who like bark and sound like they're talking?
I will say though that deer do enjoy like the soft vocals of David Bowie. It's been proven.
Let's talk about David Bowie. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so basically, quantum immortality. What's quantum? We just talked about it, right?
Quantum
Quantum
is
physics.
A fancy word that you put in front of stuff to make it sound fancy.
That's true. It is the study of things in between, you know?
Study of things in between. I didn't know that.
Yeah. It actually means a little bit more than that. It's more complex, but we're going to stick to that. And what's immortality?
Immortality, something that
Doesn't die.
Everlasting.
is
Doesn't die.
Yeah.
So, death. We all know death, right?
Uh-huh. Hi, Death.
We all know death. So the idea of quantum immortality is that death is the complete lack of a consciousness in existence, right? So if your consciousness doesn't exist, right, you're dead. Does that make sense? Can we agree on that definition? Cool.
I'd say.
Naomi's over there just making die while we're talking about dying. All right. So, if we agree that death is the lack
absence
of
existence.
absence of existence, let's go back to the cat real quick, okay? So the cat, if we were to branch this out and draw it like a graph, I know
Or I
that's
guess
not how you
more
draw
so
it.
like the absence of consciousness.
Yeah.
Because your body still exists.
Your body still, that's what I'm saying. So it's not the absence of a body because your body's still dead.
Absence of consciousness.
If the consciousness is no longer in existence, then you're dead, right?
Yeah.
So in this example, it either dies or it lives, right? I should probably. This is what we're doing. It either dies or it lives, right? If it dies, is its consciousness in here?
And
No.
scientists are now trying to find a way where you, I'm pretty sure they're using quantum physics for it, but they're trying to find a way where humans can go into like a cryogenic sleep.
I mean, technically, you could make the argument the Egyptians were trying to do that too. They just didn't have that
I think
technology.
scientists have already done that.
Yeah, we froze them. So the idea of the cryogenic sleep thing is that we freeze the humans and assume that in the future we'll make enough technology to unkill somebody. And by preserving their body, we're giving them the highest chance to be unkilled, you know? So it's just murder with the hope that we've murdered them gracefully enough. Ignore the crazy drum solo happening right next to it.
So what they did is they put people in like a hibernation sleep.
It's not hibernation because with the cryogenics, you're like taking out their blood, putting in, what's it called? Is it water? I don't think it's water. It's some mixture of water that they then freeze. Then they freeze your body, completely preserve your body. You're still very much dead. And the hope is that they figure out how to revive somebody.
The question is, have they figured out how to measure consciousness to see if your consciousness is still awake while you're in a cryogenic sleep?
You wouldn't be because the
Yeah.
neurons in your brain would be firing.
They are off. They turn them off, which most definitely kills you. You're dead because there's your brain not working anymore is death, right? But the hope is that we'll eventually figure out a way to insert consciousness back into someone.
But would that be the same consciousness?
That's the thing. We don't know. We don't know because we haven't figured out a way to insert consciousness. So for this theory, we're just talking about consciousness in the person organically, right? Do you think cats have a conscience? Personally, I don't.
Yes.
But for this argument, I will pretend that they do for
I feel like
Consciousness.
I mean
Okay,
those
all
little sociopaths.
I feel
They
like
can have a consciousness without having emotions.
I feel like all
Animals.
all animals have
Consciousness.
some form of consciousness
So do like
of
ants
their
have
existence.
consciousness?
I would say
I
so.
would say yes, because like they still act upon their instinct, like they act to find food or run
Not
away
like
from
jellyfish.
danger.
Well, okay, so I think that there's different forms of consciousness. Like I feel like ants have a more shared consciousness
Right.
than humans.
Maybe so.
And you can even see in like certain human, like what's it called, congregations, consciousness can be shared amongst people, like
Okay.
cults.
Cults. That's a good example.
I like cults.
So I think that consciousness isn't just individualistic, even though people try to make it out to be. It can be a shared thing, like with ants. And with jellyfish,
They don't have a brain.
they don't have a brain. They just are, you know.
They sort of are there.
They're there, you know. They like life, I think. I don't know. We're talking about quantum immortality.
Oh, that sounds great.
Oh, that sounds great.
That's a good one.
All right, so going back to this. We know that the consciousness is not here, right? It's not here. That's the definition of dying, right? So is the cat here?
If the consciousness is gone,
The cat isn't here, so the cat has to be over here, right?
yeah.
So the basic idea behind immortality is just that argument. If you die, right, but there was a chance that you survived, you didn't die because you, by definition, you aren't here. You're over here. So
I mean, you could bring that into other theories, like you have a doppelganger somewhere.
it's true. There's also some.
Like a doppelganger that appears when you like go in the mirror, and at some point in time, they will take over. And no one would ever know.
Oh. So let's pretend that you're this guy, right? You're this fella. What's his name?
Jeff.
Jeff.
Darla.
Jeff Barla?
Jeff Arla.
His name
Jeff
is
Arla.
Jeff. Okay. So Jeff, right?
Daff.
Jack.
Jeff. It's a soft G. Okay.
Spell it softly.
Jeff.
Yeah.
Jeff.
Jeff, right?
Right. Yeah.
It's not Jeff. It's Jeff, right?
Jeff.
So Jeff here
Jeff.
is gonna do something that has a 50% chance of killing him, right? Goes horribly wrong for Jeff, right? And now he's dead, right? So to outside observers who are in this area right here, it's a very much dead Jeff, right?
Yeah.
But in this area, this is where Jeff still is, right?
Yes.
So Jeff never experiences this because he can't. He's dead. He can't experience anything because he
With
doesn't
that
have a
scenario,
conscience.
That means that you would be talking about the multiverse.
Right. That's what. This is all based on the many worlds theory, where every decision has a
branches
split
off.
branch instead of
Right.
one decision having a single timeline. So Jeff can only be in this timeline, right?
It's Jeff.
Because if he's in this time, he can't be in this timeline because he's dead. And if you're dead, you can't be there consciously, right?
Although I thought scientists started hypothesis that if you die in one timeline, you also die in the other.
Well,
Play Uno.
what?
Can we play Uno?
Play Uno.
Most random thing
Come
we
on.
learned today.
This is math club.
This is math club. This isn't
Not-
games club. You're working on games club though, so you can play Uno
This
there.
is this is math and occasionally David Bowie club. Not.
So the idea of quantum immortality is that no matter how likely he is to
music,
die,
that's
right?
good
Like
math.
he can die in all of these, right?
could be the
If there's even a tiny chance that he's going to live, Jeff over here is going to live because he cannot be in this area, right? He has to be here by definition of what death is. So then it just keeps going down. And no matter what the decision is, from his perspective, he will never seem to die.
Oh shoot.
Well,
Okay.
yeah,
That's
because otherwise he will stop having a perspective.
Exactly. So from Jeff's perspective, he can only live.
Paper doesn't actually.
He never dies. Imagine if Jeff is suicidal. Imagine how crushing that would be to him. If there's even a minute chance that he survives it,
Interesting.
he's just gonna think that he's immortal.
So if there's ever a chance of survival,
Well, that's-
He will
theoretically,
Yeah, so that's the theory behind quantum immortality, that from their perspective, from everyone else's perspective, yes, Jeff is a dead man. But
what
from
if we've
his
all-
perspective,
that's
He's
interesting.
immortal.
That's pretty crazy.
in my mind.
That's pretty crazy.
now the thing is that
So is that we never really experienced death?
it doesn't mean that you're fully immortal, because eventually, due to aging,
Right.
at least to the human understanding of aging, there will come a time where
You're out of
all scenarios,
lead to death.
all scenarios lead to death. And that's just where your perspective ends,
like,
because
so-
if there's no chance of you surviving.
Right. So if there's like even like a 1% chance that you survive,
You will
then
survive,
You
yeah.
will. Gotcha.
That's the idea of quantum
from
immortality.
your perspective.
Now here's the thing,
That's nuts.
you can't really test it, because if you
Right.
test it,
Then you're dead.
then you leave this reality and go
Right.
to another one. And who's gonna believe you over there?
Nobody.
No, I have something real. I was just giving you a quiz back to you.
And even if people do believe
Well,
you,
wait, but
you just believe you're really lucky, because you won't be able
yeah,
to
you don't